Hey, it's been not too much of a while. I just uploaded a video last week, but for a one-on-one chat like this, it has been maybe not a bit of a while either, but either way, I just wanted to come on here and talk about something or a game that really means a lot to me, near and dear to my heart. And the reason that I'm doing this is because while browsing Facebook a few days ago, I saw this post that's basically calling to action to hashtag save TF2. And I was like, why? What's this call to action? And then when I read the comments and stuff, it was basically kind of like a peaceful protest of players, whether current or former, to just talk about the game and how much it means to them. It's an important game for a lot of people, myself included. And this video is here to talk about why. So, without further ado, here is my TF2 video. So, how did I get into TF2? Well, first of all, I was into Left 4 Dead. I played a lot of Left 4 Dead in the internet cafes, and when I was playing Left 4 Dead or Left 4 Dead 2, I would always look for mods. I found this Johnny Bravo tank mod, but in the background, I could hear the zombies were speaking. They weren't growling, they were saying stuff like, "Hey knucklehead, I'm talking to you!" Or, "Bonk!" They would just be speaking like that. And when they come attack you, they'd be like, "Dumbass!" That kind of got me intrigued, like, why are they speaking like this? So I dug into the modder's channel, and I'll probably link it in the description or something. He apparently made voice packs for some of the infected in Left 4 Dead. One of the voice packs, or that voice pack in specific that I was talking about, was called the Scout Common Infected voice pack. If you've watched some of my Left 4 Dead videos, you know that voice pack is still what I use for my Common Infected today. I found this way back when I was still playing Left 4 Dead. So I got Left 4 Dead around December 2009, and that's where I heard the Scout's voice for the first time. So that kind of got me intrigued, because who is this Scout? And the further I kept digging, the more I found. I'm into mods and modding my games, as you can see from my Left 4 Dead videos if you watch them. One of the early mods I came across was the Lightsaber Baseball Bat Mod for Scout in TF2. And that was the first time I ever laid my eyes on what TF2 looked like. And I was like, what is this? This is cartoons. And if Scout's from this game, you have cartoons saying stuff like dumbass, knucklehead. I'd be hearing these terms that at the time, like, why would this come from a cartoon? I was intrigued because I love Star Wars, and to see a Star Wars item in a game like TF2, I was intrigued and I was hooked. And I was like, I need to get that mod for this game. Lo and behold, I got it eventually as the year went on in 2010. So I got the game. I bought the game. Crazy to think now, because TF2 is known for being an F2P game, but I bought the game. Not through Orange Box. It was my first ever purchase that I bought from the Steam store, which I didn't even know you could, because when I bought Left 4 Dead, I walked into my data blitz, I got a copy of Left 4 Dead for Christmas, and that's how I got it. For TF2, after I figured out how a Steam account works, I asked my dad, "Hey, can I buy this game? It's been something that I wanted to try out." And my dad said, "Yeah, sure, why not?" And boy, I did not realize what was ahead of me. But when it really kicked off was when the game became free to play. I had been playing TF2 for quite a bit, although not as frequently, because I was focusing on school. But during my off days, quote unquote, I would find myself playing the game. But when it became free to play and my friends could play it, that was a game changer for me. It gave me some sort of excitement to like say, hey, this is a game that I never thought that I could be playing with some of my friends. I've always wanted to have a game to play with friends where it's not just, oh, we have to schedule a meetup to go to an internet cafe and play. No, this is something that we could play online. And we actually had a game that could do that in TF2. When it became free to play, I was actually one of the few people that were excited that it became free to play. For me, I was just excited to play with my friends. Playing that game with some of my friends who are still some of my good friends today really just opened my eyes to a lot of things. It gave me my first gaming community I was a part of. I used to play on a server called XJZ. It was a Filipino-based TF2 server. Every Friday, I would just go to that server and play with my friends and other Filipino players. This was big for me at the time because I just wanted to play in a server where I didn't feel like I was lagging, and XJZ was it. We'd have a lot of fun games. I'd meet some of my friends through that game. I would even meet people who I would eventually meet in person down the line. I'll tell a story about that later as well. Playing that game basically took over my life during grade 6 and grade 7. Every time school ended on Friday, I'd just meet up with my friends and say, hey, let's play later tonight. And we'd schedule a day or date when we can meet to play. So it'd usually be 6 p.m. after dinner. And then we just play on these servers, whether it was XJZ or join an empty server that was just filled with programmed AI or bots. Not the bots that are ruining the game now, but bots of the characters, and we just play and have fun. That game being F2P was really a game changer for me and my friends, as we were able to have bonding activities and just play and distress from school. I'll also talk about my favorite memories with the game. As I mentioned, it gave me something to be excited about at the end of the week, where after every class finished on Friday, we'd go home and we'd get to play. We get to play on servers like XJZ or these empty American servers that just had bots in it. And we'd have a lot of fun just playing by ourselves or playing with a lot of people. It gave us something to do, and it took us away from the stress of school. It was the first game that I really grinded for. In the past, I'd play stuff like Force Unleashed, but my goal was really to beat the story and to find out what the story was. This one, I had to work to get certain things. The closest thing I can think of was I really wanted the Dead Ringer because I was a spy main, and I always thought that faking your own death in the game was cool, so I needed that watch. And I remember just working non-stop just to get that watch, and I would play my ass off every weekend, from whether it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday, every chance I was able to play and given some time to play. I would really work just to get the Dead Ringer. And when I got it, man, it felt like winning an NBA championship. It was the watch that I wanted, it was the watch that I got, and it was the watch that I was going to use for all the games that I was going to play whenever I played Spy. It gave me something to work towards. It gave me something to reach for. And I've never had a game do that because I've always just been about, at the time, finishing the game. No, this was something if you work hard enough, you can get something in return. And for me, all that hard work gave me the watch that I wanted. So it was the first game that I really just went out and put all my effort into. And it wasn't just me who worked in the game. My friends worked hard at the game too, and they were really good. A lot of them were sniper mains, and it was funny because Spy and Sniper are always considered the Celtics and the Lakers. They're considered the rivals in the game, like Soldier and Demo. So it was kind of cool to see, my friend's a really good sniper, or I have two friends that are really good snipers. At least for me, I thought I was a pretty decent spy. And just to see how good we were, or at least in my eyes, I thought we were pretty good. To see how much fun we were having and how good we were, it made me feel good because we were having fun and we were just enjoying ourselves. We didn't think about a lot of things. We were just working hard, yet we were enjoying the hard work, and then we'd be rewarded with all of these items. It just made you feel like you wanted to continue playing and continue working hard. Also, this game gave me my first in-game purchase. I had never bought an item from a video game before, and I remember seeing the crocodile set for Sniper, the Sydney Sleeper and all of that jazz. I remember seeing that and I'm like, I know I don't really play sniper, but that's something I needed to have. So I basically remember where we were. We were lining up at the Philippine embassy to get our passports renewed. I remember talking to my dad and showing my dad the item, and I told him, hey, can I get this item? I think after a couple of negotiations, he eventually agreed, and I bought it. And then when I went home to check if I got it, I was so happy when I got it. And so I just immediately hopped on the server and started playing with that set. I felt like the coolest kid in school. I had never done that before. I had never bought something from a video game before. It gave me that. Third year prom. Okay, this is a great memory. I was a new student in this new school. I had transferred schools, and shortly after I transferred, prom season was coming up. I didn't want to go. At the time, I didn't know anybody there except one of my best friends from my former school who happened to be in this new school. He was there. He was there before me. He was the first, one of the first few people who greeted me. And yeah, you probably know who he is. It's Carlo. So Carlo was in that school for quite some time. We just decided not to go to prom because we were like, what are we gonna do? We're gonna dance, wear a suit. So we just decided to go stay home. He brought his laptop to my place and we just played TF2 the whole night. Just played TF2. Whenever we weren't playing TF2, we just decided to take a break, go downstairs, get some Wingstop, eat some Wingstop, go back to the unit, and then play TF2 again. And I remember we played for quite a while. I think we started playing at like 5:30 and we ended up playing up until maybe 2:30 a.m. That game kind of helped me occupy the void of not going to prom. Transitioning now from high school to college, it kept me sane throughout college also. There was a point in time where during my breaks, I'd just hit up the local internet cafe and I'd be playing Overwatch, because Overwatch took over my life for first year, probably up until third year. Somewhere in between, I started getting sick of Overwatch, but an odd thing was I wanted to find another game to play to pass the time, and I saw one of the installed games on Steam was TF2. I play it, decided to go back, and I basically played it for my entirety of third year college, and it would help me pass the time. It would help me not think about the papers or a lot of other things. And it kept me sane. College can be very stressful. It's quite the up and down journey, and it can take a lot out of you. TF2 kept me sane. It was like a safe space, even though every once in a while I would be like very toxic, in the sense that I would rage, but it kind of kept me safe. And then you have the other little things like getting hyped for updates, such as Meet the Medic, Halloween, Christmas. Every time an update would come, we'd get excited and overjoyed and say, oh, what new items are gonna come in, what new skins are gonna come in, is there gonna be any special events, special maps, that got us excited. And then to shout out one specific map, CP de Groot. Every time I've played CP de Groot, win, lose or draw, I've always had fun playing that map because melee everything, just mind-numbing dumb fun with the really loud bagpipes that play when you capture both command posts. What a ride. It's had a big impact on gaming. If I'm recalling this correctly, it was the first game to go free to play and have a market for cosmetic and items. I mentioned earlier that it was my first in-game purchase. Prior to that, I had never heard of anyone buying from a video game before. It influenced a lot of other games as well. Free game, market for cosmetic. Sounds like current day Fortnite. The different styles of characters, the way they play class-based type games. Overwatch. I play Tracer, I see glimpses of Scout, I see Junkrat, I see glimpses of Demoman. It's had its influence on gaming for sure. Personally, it's impacted my life in such a very meaningful way. It opened my eyes to the world of online gaming because prior to TF2, I had never played an online game. I didn't know you could connect to the world. TF2 gave that to me. It gave me a competitive side to gaming. Sometimes I can get a bit too sweaty and I can let my emotions take over. This game gave that to me. Whether good or bad, it helped unlock my competitive side. It helped build relationships with some of my good friends. I mentioned I wanted to tell a story from earlier. Oreo, who's been on the channel sometimes, I met him through TF2 and I didn't even know it at the time. I played some games with him and he was always top of the leaderboard during the XJZ servers because he was a really good player. And I didn't know it at the time, but he would go on to be an eventual classmate and an eventual friend. And for us to connect the dots and say, oh, I was this IGN, and like, no way, I was this IGN. It was nice to know that one of the best players during the XJZ days ended up becoming a pretty good friend of yours and a classmate. Some of my best friends today were players of the game. Jet, Gaston, Carlo, Gabe. We've all had a lot of our memories about TF2. If you were to ask them to tell a story about that game, I'm pretty sure they can. It's been with me for most of my developmental years, whether it was high school or college. That game stuck by me. It was like an old friend that was always there for you. And without a doubt, it's given me some of the most memorable experiences playing video games. I think if I had never played TF2, my gaming life would have been incomplete. It gave me friends, it gave me a pathway to the online world of gaming, it gave me a lot of really good memories and experiences, both good memories and bad memories. It allowed me to see what an impact a free-to-play game can have on people. TF2 has meant a lot, not just to me, but to a lot of other people. I hope that whatever videos or posts come out of this can help spread awareness or spread a message that TF2 is an important piece of gaming history. Thank you for listening to my really long talk about this game. TF2 really means a lot to me, and from the bottom of my heart, if you've reached this far, thanks for watching.